So some big news today. Some very, very big news. This has big ramifications for the heavyweight division. It also means that this summer we have got something big. We have something big. So, as you all know, Mike Coppinger was with ESPN for a long time. He's now working for the Ring magazine. And he is reporting, and this was breaking certainly earlier in the day, that Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois are in the process of finalising a deal for a Ring magazine and undisputed heavyweight champion. I love how you put that in there, not just undisputed unification, just Ring magazine and undisputed. So you see what I mean? So yeah, that's working there. But basically the deal is near finalised, the deal for a undisputed heavyweight title fight rematch going to take place on July the 12th in London at Wembley Stadium. This is according to Mike Coppinger. Now, Daniel Dubois, we all know, he was scheduled to face Joseph Parker on the last Crescendo. He pulled out with an illness on fight week. He was not pulled from the card by doctor or anything like that. It was his own team's decision. They voluntarily chose to pull him from the fight. It was the advice of the doctor, and it was also the advice of Daniel Dubois' dad, Stan Dubois. They chose to pull out of that Joseph Parker fight. Straight off the bat, you see people saying, oh, this was already lined up, this, that, and the other. Listen, I genuinely think he probably was ill. He said he's had symptoms like that before. That guy, what was his name, Floyd Schofield, he pulled out as well that week. I think it was just a genuine illness, to be honest with you. Having said that, he wasn't obliged contractually to give Joseph Parker his fight. Dubois had stated that he would have liked to have preferably actually gone ahead with the Parker fight next, but now they're going to get this fight over the line, it seems. And Daniel Dubois, although he had stated, that, Usyk, whatever, he also had mentioned that he would rather this fight happen in the UK. Well, it seems like he's going to get his wish. When, if ever? I don't think. Maybe there has there? An undisputed heavyweight title fight in the UK. I'm sure there has, back when it was maybe the 2 or 3 belt era, but certainly it's a big thing for the UK. And the UK, if you think about it, in a way, it sort of does deserve that, because the heavyweight division over really since the end of Tyson Fury ended the Klitschko era, really. I know some people say it was Anthony Joshua. In my opinion, it was Tyson Fury. Realistically, it's been, the heavyweight division has been the UK. Wilder did his own little thing in the US, but, and ultimately Fury had to go to the US, but it's primarily been the UK. Saudi Arabia have obviously come in, but it just seems right that we get a unification, a heavyweight, undisputed fight in the UK. In Wembley Stadium. They're talking about July the 12th, and that would be a good turnaround for Oleksandr Usyk. If you think about it, he fought the back end of December, so you're talking about roughly 7 months. It's not bad. It's not bad going for him. It's not straight back in. I think if you think about it, it was roughly 7 months between and actually for Dubois, you might be thinking that's not a good thing, because it was roughly 7 months between the first Fury fight to the second Fury fight, and I thought Usyk looked very good. I thought the activity, the fact that he wasn't fighting once a year, it was a case of, all right, twice in a year, twice in the space of 7-8 months. He looked a lot sharper. He looked better in the rematch, I felt. Not that he didn't look good in the first fight, he did, but I thought he looked sharper in the rematch. So activity, it's the key. For Dubois, it's not the worst thing in the world, because he fought in September, so it's about, 10 months or so. It's not ideal, but it's not terrible either. He's only 27 years old. I think he is 27 now. 26, 27. So, it's not the end of the world for him. That's nothing for someone at that age. The fight itself, right? Full disclosure, I would rather see Joseph Parker. I would imagine that they are going to get a deal in place that the winner will either maybe be stripped or vacate immediately after the fight, and Joseph Parker will be then elevated to full champion, because he is interim champion. So Joseph Parker will probably even get he might even fight on the undercard, who knows. But you would imagine a deal is in place, some sort of deal has been arranged. In terms of the fight, we've seen it nearly 2 years ago. It'd be nearly 2 years, it'd be 23 months by the time they stepped foot in the ring that they would have fought. And although people try and say, oh, well, Dubois, he landed that shot on Usyk, it was low. It was ruled low. The WBA investigated it. They came to the conclusion that it was ruled low. That's the only real point of contention in the whole fight, because it was not a competitive fight. It was not that close. It was Oleksandr Usyk doing what he needed to do, and he ultimately stopped Daniel Dubois. This time around, however, we have a more confident Daniel Dubois. He's more reassured of himself. I think, is more confident in his ability. He knows now that in fights he can dig deep. He had to dig down deep against Jarrell Miller. He had to dig down deep against Hrgovic when he was getting lit up. Didn't really have to do anything against Anthony Joshua other than land, and that's what he did. But Dubois seems to have confidence through the roof. And Oleksandr Usyk is pushing 40. I think is he 38 years old now? He'll be 39 come January of next year. So he's not getting any younger, is Oleksandr Usyk. Although, having said that, I don't think it's going to be enough to make the difference in this fight. I think that Dubois, given the fact that it's home field advantage for Dubois, it's in London, it's in Wembley Stadium. I suspect it'll do Wembley Stadium. It might not do the Joshua Dubois numbers, but it will certainly do Froch Groves numbers. Certainly, I would imagine. Certainly. Undisputed heavy, yeah, of course it would. I think that Dubois will be more confident given the fact that it's in the UK. He's not going, he was in Poland last time, which is kind of where he was near Oleksandr Usyk's home country, so you get that's like a homecoming of sorts. Oleksandr Usyk has fought in the UK before. He fought London 2012. He obviously fought Tony Bellew in Manchester. He fought Chisora, albeit behind closed doors. I think that was in the OVO. He fought Anthony Joshua famously, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And he's liked, whenever you see Oleksandr Usyk in the UK, like he was when Chisora fought Joe Joyce, just to a sea of cheers. So he's liked. Oleksandr Usyk is a popular character. He's liked in the UK. And I think for Usyk, it's going to be like, if you think about it like this, he's already been undisputed champion. So it's not like, it's all going to come full circle, so to speak. But he'll be the first two-time undisputed heavyweight champion in the four-belt era. And to do it in London, where he won his Olympic gold medal all those years ago. And, maybe for him, that's the cherry on the cake. I don't know. For me, I kind of look at Usyk and I just think, it's a great way to go out, undisputed champion, just to beat Fury again. It's a great way to go out. I don't really see, it's a victory lap, I guess, but I don't really see what you gain by beating Dubois again. And to be honest with you, for me, I would rather see Parker get that crack, because I have a bit of an issue of sorts that Oleksandr Usyk's resume is literally Chez Witherspoon and Chisora, and then rematch. I don't like that. I don't like it's Joshua twice, then it's Dubois, then it's Fury twice, then it's Dubois again. It's like literally you fought three guys since 2021 and you've rematched them all. I think that it's overused. It's too overused. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Usyk versus Dubois 2. Seems like we're pretty much close to getting it finalized. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, people, I hope you enjoyed the video. Smash the like button. Peace.